Let's hear for that host. Yeah. Man, I can't wait for spring. Jesus Christ. Because of City Bike. Love that thing, I've missed it. Because I've always wanted a fast, cheap, eco-friendly way to commingle my crotch sweat with hundreds of other New Yorkers. Without having to buy anyone a drink. The other thing I love about spring is the National Abortion Access Bowl-a-thon for the New York Abortion Access Fund. It's an event I like to participate in for women's reproductive rights. I pointed out to the folks that the name is too long. It's so long by the time you're done saying it, you're well into the 3rd trimester, too late for an abortion. I suggested some other names. Bowling for Abortions. They didn't go for it. Bowl Abort.
Bowl Abort.
Yeah. Yes, Bowl Abort, thank you. In fact, you will be deputized to repeat all of my punchlines for the next 7 minutes. Get your ass up here. Thank you. Abortathon? Abortathon, thank you again. Yes. They didn't go for that. Down the bowl. In any case, suffice it to say all of my suggestions for a shorter name were rejected. My team in the Reproductive Rights Bowl-a-thon was named, it was clever, it was a pun. It was named Row, Row, Row Your Bowling Ball, and Row was spelled like Roe versus Wade. Oh, very clever, yes. But again, too long. I suggested a different name, Back Alley Bowlers. No, they didn't go for that. And finally I suggested, are you 486ing this fetus? 86, where does that come from? Anyone know where that comes from? I don't know. Why does 86 mean to get rid of? I don't know. Anyway, let's leave it at that. One of those mysteries. I'm a better bowler than I am a fundraiser. But I fundraise not just for women's reproductive rights, I also fundraise for an amazing organization called Apopo, which is, they used to be known as hero rats. They train these amazing giant rats to sniff out landmines. This is an actual thing. And the first thing people ask me is, really? They do that? Do the rats get blown up? And I explain that no, they do not get blown up, but most of them die young from the stress. The way I raise money for those rats is through triathlons. Yeah, I do triathlons. I do some Ironman triathlons. You're supposed to clap. Thank you. Hey, I'm not above begging for the applause and adulation. I will beg. So learn that about me immediately. The first Ironman I did, I finished an hour faster than I expected. Yeah, just like the first time I had sex. The Ironman cost me $500 plus airfare. Yeah. Also like the first time I had sex. There was a bar mitzvah in Vegas. Thank you, Mom and Dad. When I told one of my friends I was training for the Ironman, he said, "You a Jew?" What do you think? There's a separate triathlon for my people? The Jew-athlon? The Hebathon? Instead of swim, bike, run, what would that be? Fill a tooth? File a lawsuit? Send back a meal? Because the soup's not hot. It's not called the Ironman, it's called the Silverman. If it goes well, you train for the big one. The Goldman. First event, just be quiet. Don't express an opinion. Relax. Almost impossible for my people. Event 2, walk on water. Difficult, but one of us has done it. Event 3, send back the soup again because it's still not hot. What the hell's going on in that kitchen? Get the owner. The owner, yeah. Gentiles ask for the manager. Jews summon the owner. Which has biblical origins. Old Testament, we talked straight to God. New Testament, they talked to the Son, who's basically the manager. He can get you some free wine, a little bread, maybe some fish. But he cannot comp the meal. I'm an actor. I play a lot of bad guys. Yeah, really. This is basically, you're seeing it. This is the face I have to do in most of my movies. I recently went out for an audition for the show Mysteries of Laura. Yeah, oh, you like that? That's great. Why don't you tell us more about your TV tastes? Come on up, we'll do an hour. It's fascinating. No, genuinely, I'm interested, but we'll talk about that later. So, I was up for the role of Middle Eastern bodyguard number 2. Here was my big line. You're on the wrong floor, miss. The audition, the director said, that was really good. Let's do it again, but do less. Ha! I'm going to not move my lips. I'm going to not say my lines. That would be less. Man, that's insulting. Finally, I'll tell you about my episode of Girls, which was last week. I had the role of a Pakistani cab driver, in other words, Pakistani. I'm not telling us that, TV is telling us that stereotype. I reject it. But, the audition, the most miraculous thing about that role was the audition, that I got the role. Because when I walked in, there's a sign-up sheet, and you see the names of all the other actors. There was a Mohammed, a Mahmoud, another Mohammed, a Muqtada, and then a guy actually named Adim, which was my character's name. And then there was me, Hirschenfeld. That's how convincing I was. In spite of my name, I booked that role. So, anyway, no, I realized what it was. You know, the director's always saying, do less. So I realized why I got the role in all those Mohammeds didn't. Just by walking in the room, looking like they looked with that name, they were doing too much. Thank you very much. It's been a lot of fun.